Hi there, welcome to this video, and in this video we will going to look at the IRR financial function, which has a definition of internal rate of return. So this function is useful in the financial calculation or the financial dashboards where you need to identify the internal rate of return, and it has a very simple syntax like IRR value. Now this can be a field or an expression, and it should contain basically a series of cash flow values, and it will give you the internal rate of return for the period that you want to specify or for which you want to get it. So let's see how we can specify the value for this IRR function, both in the front end and in the back end, which is script. So let's first see the data over here, and over here data is for cash flow for 2013, and you have date, you have discount, and you have payments, which is over here. So one is a negative entry, maybe the return, and then others are positive entry, and these are all separated by the delimiter pipe. Okay, so what we want, based on the payments that we have in 2013, we need to calculate the internal rate of return. So to do that, what we can do is let's call it a function like IRR itself. This is a table name, so no issues if we are calling it IRR. So load, and we want for year, so let's say year is over here, comma, sorry, so this year basically represent this particular field over here, so comma, and then IRR, then payments, simple, right, as IRR 2013. okay, and because we need to give this function some name, some column name that we can identify in the front end, that's why we have given it a name IRR 2013 based on the year 2013. Resident of what? Cash flow, right? Resident cash flow, and then group by based the dimension that we have is year, right? So that should be it, and we save this and load the data, close this, go to the analysis, get the table over here, add a dimension which is year, so this is the year, add one more dimension because we have already calculated the IRR, and it's 0.1634, that means 16.43% is basically the internal rate of return that you have for the year 2013. Now the same you can achieve it in the front end as well, but this time by using a measure. So I'll click add column, measure, and for payment, since the function is not present, I will go into the expression editor and I will say IRR PAYMENTS payments. All right, now click apply, and I'll just expand this, try to see, yes, this is the one. So this is the dimension, or this is the backend calculation, and this is the front end calculation. The only benefit is that along with the IRR, you are getting the total as well, so which is an expression total. So this way you can do this IRR calculation both in the backend and as well as in the front end. Now the benefit obviously in the back end is that the calculation is already done, and in the front end, based on the selection that you are making, the engine don't have to do the calculation again and again. But in case of this particular calculation or the measure we just added, the front end will do the calculation as and when you will do the selection, and which sometimes hamper the speed. So wherever possible, you need to take your calculation in the back end, but sometimes you want the calculation in the front end because of the nature of dynamic impact that it needs to have on the values that you have as part of your chart or as part of your table. But that's about how you can calculate IRR And that's pretty much about it. And I'll meet you in the new video, the new topic.